Well, hello there. I am Buck. This is Sawdust Solutions. Welcome to my shop. Today, I thought I would show y'all how I set my bandsaw up. I have got some bearings that's been going out, and then when them bearings go out and lock up, it cost me a blade. Normally, it gets that blade. If not, it's bad enough to where it never would run true. So I ordered me a whole set, and I'm going to show y'all how I do that, and at the end I'll show you how I set up the bandsaw to the point where I can do some veneer resawing. So hang in there with me. I'll get set up right here and we can see if we can't set up a bandsaw. So here we go. The making of the saw doesn't matter. This will apply for all the ones that I've seen anyway. I went ahead and took my table off. That way we'll get in here and see what we got going on. But there's 3 bearings on the bottom. One holding the back of the blade and one on each side. That right there, well, it's a good thing I did it. That dude right there is locked up. That right there is locked up. When one goes out, I remember the 2 replaced, they're doing fine. Well, I got 2 down there that was just fixing to go out. I did this right on time. Anyway, I bought me a set of bearings. I'm just going to replace them all. So, we get these old bearings off. We'll get the new ones on. Then I can show y'all how I set it up. I probably could save this bearing in case something happened to one. It feels smooth, so I'll hang on to that one. I got, like I say, 6 new ones. All right, that's all locked up. See, I did this just in time. That's a bad bearing right there. It won't turn. It'll turn just a little bit. That's locked. That's locked up too. So I had 2 all but going out. But these 3 here are all right. But I'm gonna go ahead and change all 6 of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and change these out. And I'll show you how I set this thing up. That's what I'm looking for, to show you how I set this up. All right, so what I'm gonna do now, go ahead and get my blade on it. I got my bearings pushed all the way back and all the way outward, just plenty of room for my blade to go uninstructed. Now, needless to say, I've got the thing unplugged. That's the first thing you want to do, is unplug it. It don't take but a second to plug it and unplug it, but it is. All right, get your tension set. All right, what we need to do, all right, we're going to turn it by hand, line up the gullet of the blade with the center of the top wheel. Right where the lid is, that's called the gullet. You've got an adjustment right here that you can see it moving. So you just adjust on it till you can get it right in the center. Well, there we go. All right. So right now we're in the kerf is in the center of the blade, and there's nothing touching. The back bearing is plumb back away from it. The side bearings are plumb away from it. So there's nothing touching anywhere, and that's what you want. You want to get that blade running true, uninstructed, with nothing touching it anywhere. You got about a 1/4 inch tension on it. You want to have your tension all set. What you want to do is line up the bearings, the face of the bearings, even with the gullet. So the support, you want them to stay clear of the teeth. Same thing on the bottom. You want to set that back bearing to where it's just missing it. So any pressure on that blade while it's running, as soon as you put the wood to it, it goes to that bearing. And again, the bearings on the sides, the face of the bearings, even with the gullet. So the bearings ain't touching anywhere, but if the blade moves in any direction, you're touching the bearings. That's what you're shooting for. So that is how you do it. I got my table. I didn't show removing and putting table. I'm sure there's a little difference in all the brands. It's just 4 bolts, and the table comes off 4 bolts. It goes back. Well, anyway, let's fire this thing up. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Let me get us a piece of wood, and we'll give this thing a try. I found this 4x4. We'll try it. I got a 90 degree right here. We'll just see how it comes out. But what we're looking for is a consistent down this run. It looks like it's going to be actually 3/16. So we're going to put a hearing protection on and see if we can't get this thing cut. Safety first. Well, we got it cut, and it come out perfect. It measures 3/16 all the way around. You can tell. I don't know if you can tell or not, but that's the way you set a bandsaw up. That gullet's got to be on the center. Those bearings are close but not touching in a neutral state. And that is the best way to do it. The bottom wheel you don't fool with. It comes set from the factory. But that top one, you adjust when you have an adjustment on it. You adjust it to where the gullet of that blade's right in the center of that wheel. And it's amazing. It's amazing the difference it makes. I mean, it cuts like a different machine. So the top of that wheel, the top wheel is rounded. Or you go in the peak of that with the gullet, and it'll hold that blade true. If you go the center of the blade to the center of the wheel, it'll have a tendency to rock. So if you come in here and you put a little pressure on it, which you got to put a little pressure in order to get through it, it won't drift, what they call drift. You put that gullet in the center of that wheel, it'll take all that drift out. I've seen them hook up a fence to compensate for that drift. Well, what if you move it a little bit and it drifts changes? Well, if you put that gullet right in the center of that top wheel, it cuts like a dream, I'm telling you. So that's the way I set one up. I hope you learned something. Give it a try. I guarantee you, you will like it. So I do all my resawing with that small blade, and you see what it done. It did perfect. So I just want to let everybody know that I'll put videos out when I can, because if y'all hung in here with me to the end of this one, you're the people I want to talk to. So you know, my wife broke her leg, and it's a pretty bad break. It just snapped that femur right in two. But the problem, when they put that titanium rod in her, it goes from her hip to her knee. But the bone didn't match back up. It left a gap. So she can't put any weight on it until that thing is healed itself back up. When you get older, that stuff don't heal near as fast as it does when you're in your 20s. So one doctor said it could take 8 weeks before she can even put any weight on it. Another doctor said 4 weeks. Naturally, we hope the 4 weeks will work, but time will tell. So whenever she gets that thing and mended back up and she can put weight on that leg, it's going to be downhill. She'll be able to go then. But until then, it is what it is, and we're just going to deal with it. I just need to get her well and get where she can go. So I don't know when I can get the next video out. I just don't know. I can only come down here for a few minutes here and there when somebody's here to sit with her. So y'all pray for her. We'll get there. The surgeon's expecting a full recovery. It's just going to take a while. So until the next video, hopefully at some point I can get on this dry sink. But I needed this thing because I got a lot of resawing to do, because what I've got is sawmill lumber, which has got to be milled down. So this thing's going to come into play. So I will work on that when the time comes. And as soon as I can get everything squared away, and we can move forward. So I will see y'all be safe. Golly bum, man, and snap your fingers, your life will change. But we got high hopes we can get back to normal at some point. So therefore, y'all be safe, and I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one.